Well, welcome to the Dewsbury Elim Church YouTube channel. This is the first of our new videos about prayer. We're going to be bringing out a few resources to help you to understand prayer, to help you engage with prayer a little bit better. And I wonder, have you ever been asked or asked yourself, why do we pray? What's the purpose of prayer? Well, today I'm joined by Alison, our prayer coordinator, and we're going to talk through 5 reasons why we pray. Hi Alison, say hello to everybody.
Hi everybody.
It's great to have you with us on the channel today. So the first reason that we've got on our 5 reasons why we pray is it helps us to get to know God. So Alison, tell us about how does prayer help you get to know God?
Well, we find out, or I find out about his character, what he's saying specifically into my life at the moment, and the situations that I'm concerned about. Just day-to-day living, really. Yeah, it's good to talk. We need that relationship with God. He's there. He's part of our lives. We should be talking to him. That's what I want to do. And it's just important to get to know him, just like you get to know your husband or your family or anybody else, isn't it? You wouldn't not talk to them.
Yeah. So relationship is that key word, isn't it? Every relationship in our lives is developed and shaped, and it grows through conversation, through talking and listening, through spending time together. So our relationship with God is no different, and prayer is the way that we develop that.
That's right.
Yeah. So the second reason that we've got is because we need God. Because we need God, and I think we all would recognise that there's something in our lives there's a need for more than what we see in front of us.
Absolutely, and life is tough as well. I can't do it in my own strength. And as good and as nice and as lovely as people are in your life that will support you and help you, it just isn't enough. It's not enough. God is the missing link with all of that. We so need him just to get through the day, whether it's a good day, whether it's a bad day. He's just very much part of our life. It's strength, encouragement, peace, joy, everything that you need that you can't get from other people in that way. God gives to us. It's a real need. That's what I found for myself.
Yeah, and at the root for the word prayer that we have in English, it comes from the Latin word precarious, which I think is a really helpful word to think about when we're thinking about prayer. Life is precarious, and when things are precarious, you look for something to stabilize, don't you? And for us, we understand that that's God. He is the one that brings stability. He's the firm foundation on whom we build our life. So we pray because we need God, because life is precarious. The third reason that we've got on our list is to hear from God. We pray to hear from God. And I don't know, Alison, maybe you can tell us about times when you've heard God speaking to you. How's that been? How does he speak to you?
I think this is an area that really trips people up because they expect God to have some sort of great booming voice or something. and for me, it just isn't like that at all. It's thoughts in my head that come into my head that I think, oh, right, okay. Or it might be through something that I'm just looking at in the room, and I'll start thinking things, and God will start to speak through maybe an object also of course through his word. Yeah, there's different ways though. It's not always a clear-cut thing, and sometimes you have to think, actually it's the still small voice for me. It's the still small voice that I know is God, and I get that peace.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit about how to hear from God in a future video. All of that is really important, isn't it? We need to understand that prayer is more than just us rattling off a list of things that we want God to do for us, but we can listen to him and hear him speak to us, and he is always speaking. I've heard it described as like one of the old transistor radios. You know, you've got a dial to tune in the frequency. Yeah. And if you're in between frequencies, then there's this static. But once you turn the dial, you begin to hear music. Now the thing is, that music, those radio waves are always travelling through the room that you're in.
That's right.
Only through tuning in the frequency on the radio that you can hear them.
Yes.
God is always speaking to us. He is always communicating to us. We need to be tuning in and listening to hear what He wants to say to us.
That's right. That's right.
So, our fourth reason why we pray is to grow as followers of Jesus, to grow in our Christian discipleship. So how does prayer help us to grow as followers of Jesus?
No, because again, God speaks to us, and so He can direct us, He can correct us, He can encourage us, He can move us on from where we're at. We don't always get it right, do we? I certainly don't. God can show me what I need to do, how I need to change, what will make a difference here, how I can reach people, or all kinds of ways really. But we need to hear His voice because He's reliable, isn't He? People aren't as reliable, bless them. They might have good intentions, but God is the only one who can really help us and move us on, and He knows how we need to change and what we need to be thinking.
Yeah, I guess it comes back to the first point that we made as well, doesn't it? About getting to know God. And
yes.
As we spend time in prayer, He shapes us to become more like Him.
That's right.
And we begin to adopt His character more, and we behave and we think and we speak in ways that look more like Jesus
Right.
as we pray more and more. And so it's natural, isn't it, that like the people you spend the most time with are the ones you end up becoming like.
Oh, absolutely.
We're shaped by the people that we hang out with. So if we hang out with God, then we are shaped to become more like Him.
That's right. That's right.
So our fifth and final reason for this video is we pray because Jesus asked us to. And that's quite important, isn't it, Alison?
Absolutely. And I can be honest, we might not always feel like doing that, to be fair, but most of the time I do. But there are times when I don't feel like particularly praying, but I know it's the right thing to do. So whether I feel like it or not, I'll do it because Jesus asked us that we do that. And to be fair, He knows anyway. He knows how we're thinking and feeling, doesn't He? So, if you're having a wobbly day or a bad day, or you just really don't feel like doing it, He already knows that. And it's good to come to Him because you feel better, actually, and talk to Jesus and listening to what He has to say to you. And it might not be that He says specific words even, it might just be that your feeling changes. Yeah, that you don't feel as grumpy or as angry or as frustrated or whatever it is. You can change that as well.
Yeah, and I think it's really key that when Jesus talks about prayer in the Bible, He says when you pray.
Yeah.
He doesn't say if you pray.
That's right.
When you pray, there's a clear expectation from Him that we will pray. And He gives us a framework for how to do that in the Lord's Prayer. We're going to talk about how to pray in a future video. But the other thing is that Jesus Himself prayed.
That's right.
Jesus, who is God, He regularly took Himself away privately to spend extended times in prayer.
Yeah.
And publicly He prayed. He taught His disciples how to pray. And so if Jesus needed to pray, then we certainly need to pray.
We do.
So, everything in our lives is about following the example of Jesus and patterning our lives after Him. And prayer was such a huge part of Jesus' earthly life. So it should be a huge part of ours as well.
We should.
So those are your 5 reasons that we've got for why do we pray. I wonder, maybe you can think of some more reasons. Why don't you let us know in the comments below. We hope that you found this video helpful. Keep an eye on the channel for more videos like this coming very soon. Make sure that you hit subscribe and hit that notification bell as well to make sure you never miss out on things that we're posting here on Shrewsbury Elim Church's YouTube channel. God bless you, and may you discover prayer in new ways during this season.